Liz Garcia. Bailele. Eso.
Wacky Wednesday. It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Unfiltered, the real deal. No pre-planning, no chingaderas. Straight up from the bill.
Wacky Wednesday.
B-Town's very own.
It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Here's your host, Bumper Gomez.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Bumper's Wacky Wednesday, the second one for 2023, and super excited about tonight's show. It's you hear me say this a lot, but this is one for sure. It's been a long time coming. I've known Liz probably over a year now, and we've had the conversation. She's like, hey, when we're coming on the show, and I wasn't able to make it happen. I ran into her at the last time. At the Uvalde fundraiser. Yes. And she looked at me, she's like, gave me the look, and I'm like, I know. I got this. So everybody help me welcome tonight my guest on the show, Miss Liz La Cantante Garcia, all the way from 35 South, I put I somewhere.
San Antonio, central area.
There you go. Liz, well, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you.
You look very beautiful tonight. Cowboy hat, todo el pedo.
Me iba a venir bien casual, pero dije, no, I gotta make that impression.
Is that a David Olivares signature hat?
No.
Porque nomás asking porque tiene los crystals.
No, Les Garcia es puro bling.
Puro bling bling. Yeah. All right. Or I should ask now, porque está bien famoso ahorita. Is that el Bronco ahí del Valle? You know Bronco?
No, yes, I love Bronco.
That guy got famous from dancing, right? Dancing looking like Mr. Esparza, man. Saludos a todos, everybody from wherever you're watching all over the United States. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, you guys are in for a great treat. Liz has a wonderful, wonderful story. And like I put in the thing there, TTMA winner, man. She's got one of them big Tejano Music Award trophies. Yes. Are they as heavy as they look?
They are. Yes, porque me dijeron, I went to, when I got it, I was going to take it home, and they said I had to go do the interviews with all the radio stations, the gala. They're like, you need to bring your award. So I ended up con el award por donde quiera. I made some muscle that day. And it's made out of glass, so you got to be extra careful with that.
Oh, man. And here's the great thing. Like, so every time that I've seen Liz, I think there's only been maybe one time that I saw her at somewhere and she wasn't singing. I think there's only been once. I don't know what it was for, but I remember running into you and you weren't singing. You were just there like everybody else. Yeah. But everywhere she goes, she's ready to rock and roll. I was telling you right off camera, I was talking to my buddy Joey Jimenez, drummer for Grupo Macizo, and he's like, man, Liz, who do you have tonight, Bump? And I'm like, I got Liz Garcia. He goes, man, I'm trying to remember. I said, Liz, she sings, she's got a TTMA, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh yeah, bro. One time, They were asking like, hey, can anybody here sing right now or whatever? And everybody's like, well, how do you want it? We don't have no instrumental. Liz was like, I got it. I got my track. Let's go. Put it on. Let's do this.
Yeah, this was in Laredo.
Where was that at?
Laredo, Texas. It was a Z93. It was a big event. I think it was a Expo Extravaganza or something like that. It was big.
It was a big event?
I was just there for a meet and greet. Pero me dicen, can you come up? I'm like, sure, I'm ready.
You never turn down, right? Never turn down the microphone. But you know what's really awesome, Liz, that you're here is that, Bumpers Wacky Wednesday, I really like to push and see, here's the good and the bad, right? You're not a new artist. Mm-mm. You've been hustling, you've been doing this thing since when? What?
6 years.
2 years?
6.
6 years.
Yes.
Right, so she's been, and her husband's in the audience. Man, I probably there goes a few guys off. No, but yeah, there they go. But he's in the audience.
He's not.
No, and we were talking. I said, man, do you get tired of me? He goes, nah, I don't. I don't get tired of the music. There you go. But where I was going with it is that, Liz, you're not a new artist, but you fall to me in this category of people who are always hustling. They're always out there trying to put their music out however they can. And by the grace of God, somebody noticed that, right?
My fans.
And for you to be nominated and then win 2021 Best New Female Artist for the Tejano Music Awards, amazing, right? That's for Tejano musicians, as I have some of these awards. I have the Guadalupe Awards back here, but all the awards, some people they grade them, right?
It's just and
to me, I see it as like, if you want to honor the artist, however it is, go with it, right? It's keeping our music relevant. But the TTMAs are held,
that's like the cherry on the pie.
Yeah, the cherry on the pie, so to say.
I think every award, as long as you're getting recognized and the people are seeing that, I think that's important. Not so much for what it stands for, who's giving it to you or anything. As long as people are actually voting for you, I think that's what makes it
I think
special.
Some of the voting, I think some of the, when I got friends everywhere, right? When you sit down and talk to my friends, a lot of them, they'll be like, man, it's just, I don't know, dude, like, there's no way that person could have won. Like, I said, well, we don't see the voting.
Yeah.
Right? There's no way to ever tell. I mean, how do you know who wins a ESPY award or what's all the awards, Academy Award? Or,
we're never going to know.
You really don't know, right? The Academy votes, and everybody has their own procedures on how somebody's picked. But again, where I'm going with it is that for 6 years you've been doing this. gracias a Dios that you got the TTMA award, rightfully so, earned. You're out there gigging, you're doing what you can. But here's the crazy part. She does this without a band. We're going to talk about that tonight, like how hard it is. And we've talked about it before with other, and then on top of that, porque eres mujer, like, you know what I mean? That's even, that makes it even harder. But it's like I tell people, if you're a true Tejano fan, like you're in the news, you're in the business about everybody knows Liz. I'm not going to say the award show, but I helped host a show one time, and they picked the five top people that were voted go, and then they show up for the actual award show the next day, right? I got so freaking tired of saying Liz Garcia, like Liz Garcia, Liz Garcia, Liz Garcia. And Liz didn't pick a table right there by the stage. No, hombre, estaba hasta all the way in the back by the bathrooms, dude. So it took her a while to get up there. But it was cool because at the end of the night, she looked like Michael Phelps. Now she could barely walk. Every time she was coming up, she had all these medals on her chest. So, that was when I got off the stage, it's like, man, okay. Liz, you doing your thing.
It was 6 categories. I got top 5 on 5 of them, and I won the award on the 6th one.
On the 6th one, right?
There you go. But thanks to everybody who voted, and for me getting.
No, for sure, everybody, man. Thanks to everybody. Like I said, if you're a true Tejano fan, and you don't, I don't want to call you that, right? You're gonna be like, what am I? I'm not a true, right? Somebody watching.
But
it's like I told Liz tonight at the end of the show. If you've never heard who Liz Garcia is, after watching tonight's show, you're going to know who she is. She has a beautiful voice. She has a very beautiful personality, and she is golden. I mean, golden on social media. If you follow her on social media, she's very active on social media. She lets you know that she can sing all the time. She does a lot. You do a lot of lives, no?
Yeah, I had to slow down on the singing live because, with the copyright strikes and stuff. So I have to kind of refrain from doing that. But that's, and we'll get on how I started on that. But yeah, I just feel like when I do my Facebook live, it's like I'm talking to the fan, not so much the industry or people in the music or anything. They're the most important to me. So I think I want to have that relationship with them. It's like I want them to be happy to see me once I jump on, and they're expecting to come and see me when I'm talking to. I don't do anything fun on Facebook. I talk. I really just talk. And I mean, before I was singing before, but I can't really do it as much anymore. But and people tell me, we enjoy being there with you, and you guys can see it by the numbers on the views and stuff.
Liz, let me ask you this. If somebody wanted to hire you for, like, say, they're gonna have like a Christmas dinner or Christmas end of the what do they call them? Like when the companies have Christmas dinners or whatever, and sometimes they like to do the acapella, like they like to get the, acoustic. There you go, acoustic things. Do you do stuff like that?
I've never done the acoustic, but I know I've done with the way I do things.
Yeah, with that's what I mean. But in your case, with the track, right? No guitar, just the track and kind of talking to the crowd. You play the track.
I get hired for events.
Rebecca Valadez, she did that. And I think she still does that. I used to hit her up. She's like, I'm live at this Deco Pizza or something, right? On the west side. And, me and my wife aren't doing it. We just go, we'll get some pizza, drink some wine. I don't drink wine. You like how I said that? I don't drink no wine. But, we get some pizza and go in here. And she was like, hey, what do you guys want to hear? Boom. And, Rebecca, she could sing anything. Yeah. Backup singer for Janet Jackson. Mm-hmm. She could sing anything. So, and it was great. Like, it was like, I like that. You know what I mean? So, Liz, let's go back and, I know you're only 21, so it's not too far that we're going to go back.
Put him on the list for Christmas.
There you go. How in the hell did you get... Well, first of all, where'd you grow up at?
Yo soy mexicana. I grew up both in Mexico and here. San Antonio, Laredo, and Mexico. And I grew up in all three places at the same time. Why? Because we kept moving a lot. So, soy de los tres.
That's not a bad thing. That's a good, to me,
Really
that's
good
a good thing, right? I mean,
it was a bad thing when you had to meet new people.
and
But
you get used to people and then you got to go.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you had to leave people behind. But I think it helped me for what I do now because I've always been dealing with
So
all kinds of people.
let me ask you this. Do you think that, because this show's about cultura también, right? You always hear people say, for the Mexicanos, pues los Tejanos, they're not Mexicano enough. And, you know what I mean? The Mexicanos, they come over, well, you're not American enough. Like, did you feel like that growing up, maybe?
No, I mean, yo no me considero que digas que, yo soy bien tejana, tampoco. Soy mexicana. Soy mexicana 100%. I'm 100% Mexican. But since I grew in both, I think I own a little bit of both.
You're rightfully so.
Yeah.
You can call them both.
Yeah, so when I started in the music, I call myself norteño tejano. They're like, well, you're tejano norteño. No, I'm norteño tejano. What's the difference? What the difference is because I'm Mexicana. Norteño comes first. And the tejano. So, I don't want to leave my people. I want both. I started catering to both audiences, and I want both of them. I don't want to leave one. Even if I were to change my music, I'm still norteño tejano. I don't want to, gracias a Dios, this is where I got the opportunity because I don't come from music, but I got the opportunity here. So this is something I'm not going to leave. Even though people are noticing a slight change on my music, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying in both. Un pie aquí, un pie allá.
Hey, right now, that's the place to be, Liz. How do you do? Do you try to push your music on in Mexico?
It's already out there. I've gotten on several charts in Mexico, so there is a lot of people out there that know my music.
I know Monterrey. They love our kind of music, right? But lo que está pegando ahorita, man, that I call it the frontera music. It's not even look. People can bash me and say, "Bumper, who the hell do you think you are?" Whatever. Look, I don't call like La Paranda, Secretos, Fronteras, all these groups right now. I don't call them norteño groups. I don't call them norteño light, right? I don't call them tejano. To me, it's música de la frontera, right? Because again, these guys are taking this music. Oh, they're taking old music. Old Mexican cumbias or whatever, and they're making it into their style. And their style to me is not, it doesn't sound like Ramon Ayala, like pesado.
It's different.
Like Poder del Norte.
It's fresh.
It's different, right? It's another branch off this tree that our music comes from. But that's good, man. That's good that you grew up in all those places because the culture's embedded in you. You know what I mean? But I wanted to ask you that because, I mean, if you lived there, and you seem to be very proud of living everywhere you live.
Eso sí les digo, yo soy mexicana, pero not a participant. What that means, every time there's like Mexican, que folclórico, que
¿En la casa hablas más español o más inglés?
I'm very Spanglish.
¿Puro español?
Me salen los dos.
Spanglish. Ya madre, Spanglish. And the hubby?
No, he didn't know any Spanish.
Pero ahora sí.
Pero tuvo que aprender.
My wife, like, same thing. I met my wife, like, I could carry a conversation in Spanish, right? I knew Spanish. I grew up listening to Tejano music. You know what I mean? But just because you listen don't mean you actually, a lot of Tejanos don't understand what they're saying, right? But I made myself, like, I wanted to know what the song meant, whatever. But the fact that you grew up over there and kind of over here, it again, like I said, it just makes you really firm in your boots, right? Of where you stand. You are exactly what this music is. It's a blend of both culturas, right? And we make it into one.
Even though everybody shuffles me out of
yeah.
Pero como quiera, I'm here and I'm representing.
And you ain't going nowhere.
I'm not going
Hey,
anywhere.
she's been doing it for 6 years, whether you like it or not. She's been doing it for 6 years.
Exactly.
She's still here. She's got a TTMA under her belt. If you don't got one, then you don't even got a leg to stand on, right? Whether she's got a band or not. And Liz, the truth is, a lot of people, A lot of artists. I'll be real with you. A lot of artists, they talk down on that. Like, well, how can you have a song on the chart? I'm not gonna say my friends, right? But we have these great conversations. Like, well, how can this dude have this song on the chart? But if I call him tomorrow to come play for me at this place, he ain't got a band. How is that? I'm gonna talk about it, right? It's Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. We've talked about this before, where I think the fan, you guys, fans of La Onda, you don't realize how much money goes into making one song, two songs, an EP, not an album, olvídate, right? It takes a lot of money. And these people aren't getting picked up like in the 90s by these big record companies where they just show up and record and reap the benefits of being under a big music label, right? They're doing it out of their own pocket, their own hard-earned money. They're going and giving it to somebody else like, hey, man, I want to make this song. I got this song, you know, and then the producer's got to go find the accordionist. He's got to find the bass player, the guitar player, the drummer, put it all together. Liz, come in and sing the vocals. Bam, now here's your song. Mm-hmm. Right? Is that am I off on how that works?
It's very expensive. You know, I am independent. I'm not signed. I do this all on my own. You know, I'm not. I've had a few labels trying to pick me up. I wasn't ready, and I feel like I'm still not ready. I'm building, like I've always said it. I'm building a foundation, meaning that I'm always looking for a solid fan base. That's what I'm still working on. You know, gracias a Dios, it's growing. But you know, we still need the exposure out there. And what I mean out there is because you guys know me here on social media, but I'm still working out here to get all these people. And you know, thankfully, everywhere I go and I meet and I gain new fans. So.
No, for sure, and you're very friendly. You know, when I saw you in Uvalde, you were there with everybody, talking to, you know, whoever came up to you and talked to you. You know, it's not. You don't want to be real with you. I'm not gonna say who, but there's still people out there, male and female, that don't do that. Like, se creen, like, hey, you paid, I'm gonna sing and I'm leaving. Like, I don't got time for my fans. I don't think that our onda right now is in a place where we can do that, right? You know what I mean? We're not making millions of bucks, but we need the fans that we do have. We need to find them. We need to keep them.
There's a mentality out there where you gotta be untouchable like before. Like even when I followed music all my life. I'm a fan for like a lot of music, and my favorite artists, like, they weren't approachable. Like I couldn't even get close to them. Like, can I take a picture? And the picture like a mile away.
Far away.
Yeah. So I've seen all of that in my own experience, and I don't want to be that person.
You know, most female artists that I've had on there, and shout out to all there's a lot of female Tejano artists right now in the chat room. Shout out to Carla Cristina, Andy Bustamante. I can't see from very far away, but it's far. But if you see somebody, Liz, at any time, you can give shout outs if you want.
Yes, thank you to everybody who's on here. Thank you so much for commenting and joining us. Yes, to the artists, Carla Cristina, Andy Bustamante, Jojo Herrera.
Who is Liz's favorite Tejano group? That's your first hot question. You know, there's a lot of people watching. You can answer that. And notice how I was specific. Your favorite Tejano group of all time or Tejano artist?
Es que no nomás tengo uno. Okay, look, these are my top.
No. Don't try to make anybody feel good. It can only be one.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. Bueno, no se enojen, okay? Los quiero a todos. Sólido.
Sólido?
Yes, that's my favorite.
Oh, Ben and the boys down there from the Valley. Grupo Sólido.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've only been at Tejano fan since 2001 then?
No.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's when they started. Sólido 2001. Not the crazy. Hey, Sólido's great. And I'm glad that you said Sólido and you said it without a glitch, right? Without a pause. Because to me, they're Tejano. A lot of people like to call them something else. Esos datos son del Valle, they're Tejanos, right?
You know, like, but yeah, pero como te digo, yo no los miro así.
Hey,
I can't.
I asked you Tejano, you answered.
Okay,
bam.
sorry.
Okay. All right. Who is your favorite norteño artist?
Ay, norteño. Darn it. I got so many.
¿Lo tienes?
I have so many. I can't single one out.
Who?
I can't single one out.
Hey,
so many.
She has too many. That's all right. The Cowboys blue shirt, though. John, really, fool? They're giving me, I'm not a Cowboys fan, Liz, so they're telling me that I'm wearing a Dallas Cowboy blue shirt. So I have to stop it in its tracks before it gains traction. But real quick, saludos a todos, everybody joining us on behalf of, if you're joining us for the first time, on behalf of Liz Garcia, welcome to Bumpers Wacky Wednesday, where you get to know all your favorite Tejano and Norteño and I don't know, whatever else they want to call themselves. Artists, right? Yeah, there you go. Norteño Tejano artist. She's here with us, and we're going to get to know her a little bit. So, Liz, growing up in Mexico, Laredo, here, how in the hell did you make your way to San Antonio?
It was my dad wasn't. We call him a nomad. He was always moving. We couldn't stay still like in anywhere. I was like, I don't want to move anymore. But it was Laredo, and then Laredo, Texas, and then San Antonio. So I was jumping everywhere. We would probably stay like for a semester in school, and then finish the other half over there, and then the half over here.
So where'd you finally finishing school?
Once I got to, I was a sophomore. I got tired of it. I said,
You're like, I'm not doing this shit anymore.
I'm not leaving. So my parents left me. I found, I accommodated myself. And one of my aunt's house, because I was working, and like, okay, we're going to be moving back to Laredo. I said, I'm not going. I'm staying.
From where? Here?
So, here in San Antonio. This is where I stayed.
And so what high school is that? Drum roll.
Harlandale.
That's the Indians, right? Yes. The Harlandale Indians. Orale, okay. So then, I mean, being here in San Antonio, you know, during high school, that you're 21, it's kind of hard to say, but you were here when this music that you're in now was on another level. I mean, it was rock star status.
Oh yeah.
You know, do you remember those days? Would you go out a lot? Yeah. What was the clubs here? Yellow Road. What was it?
Yo no salía. I'm a homebody. I never went out.
Aquí está el husband.
Okay, let's take his name out.
Okay, all right.
No. I really didn't. No, era más this is how I got introduced to Tejano music. Yo era la huerquilla que estaba con el dial on the radio. Pop internacional, norteño, all kinds of genres. I was just that was my pastime, you know, going through the radio stations. And when I get here, I'm looking for my music, my stations, and there's nothing. I'm like, what am I going to listen to? I'm all about music. So I scroll and I keep changing the dial until I come across Tejano.
107.5.
Mm-hmm. And I came across it and I'm like, oh, okay. So
it's similar.
I grew up, yeah, más o menos.
Yeah.
Porque lo mío es, como te digo, el pop internacional, that's like my main thing. That's a dream of mine to accomplish, and watch out, I am. Un día, si Dios quiere, I'm going to do it. Pop internacional is my favorite. But other than that, you know, this kind of music, that came close to it. So that's when I started listening to La Sombra, Ramerera, you know, all of those, everybody. And I was like, it was so cool when I got to meet them for the first time as an artist. Not that everybody considered me one, but I was an artist once I recorded my song, I was an artist. So when I would come, like, when I see them out there in person, I was just like, wow, I used to listen to your music while I was doing my homework.
She was doing her musical
'Cause I was 21.
homework, man. Do you like dancing Tejano music?
I'm not too much of a dancer, pero sí bailo, sí me defiendo, pero que digas que
I've seen your video. I've seen you perform. What do you mean you don't dance?
That's not really dancing.
That's just moving side to side.
Yeah. Es como les digo, no soy trompo, so you're not gonna see me all over the.
So if you go as a couple somewhere, no, you just kind of watch.
Yeah, I'm more of a concert person, I guess. Sí bailo. Sí, sí me defiendo, pero que digas, I want to go dance. I feel like going to dance.
Hey, but times have changed, you know, like in our younger years when we were teenagers, that for you it was only like 3 or 4 years ago, but for me it was many moons ago. You know, I remember like bailes eran bailes. Like you would go. I remember my parents and my friends' parents they would take all their best friends. They would get a mesa. They would take a bottle. They'd have to buy the setups there. And I mean, some would make sandwiches and chips and right. And they would sit and talk. And whenever the good song came on, they wanted to dance too. They would get up and dance, come back. And to me, those days are over. I mean, unless you go to a quinceañera or wedding, that's somewhat, you know, like that. But nowadays, those days are gone.
Yeah.
Pepsi Peña, you know Pepsi Peña, Henry Peña, KADA 99.9 here in San Antonio. They do the tariadas sometimes, and they do that still. You know, a lot of older people, they'll come out and they let them bring bottles and sandwiches. Hasta chicken, church's chicken ahí. People are eating and talking and having a good time, and there's awesome bands, and they get up and dance when they want to. So times have changed a little bit. I think a lot of it is more concerts, stand there and kind of like listen to the music. Speaking of like performing, Liz, what's the biggest audience in your 6 years that you've been doing this where you were just like, a la madre, there's a lot of people, I'm not used to this?
The first one was when I first started, I was just doing meet and greet at Fanfare.
Uh-huh.
Y me habla una de las muchachas that was working with me at the time. Can you get here by 3? And I'm like, it's 1. Like, can you get here by 3? They're going to let you sing. I'm like, I've never done this, like, in front of a lot of people. And at the Fanfare, you know, the gateway stage under the bridge.
Yeah.
That was packed. So, bien aventada la Liz. Eso sí, no me agüito. I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. Ya cuando estoy ahí, I'm like, oh.
Do you take a shot or a beer or nothing?
No,
you don't drink?
I don't drink. Sí les tomo, si me llegan a ver una vez que I sip, pero es por mi garganta, pero no que digas que I'm going to take the shot. No, I don't.
So you don't drink when you're out?
No, not even at home. I've never drank. Nada. I'm boring.
You heard it here first, folks, on Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. Don't go up there and spend $12 on a shot of tequila and take it up to Liz because she's not going to drink it.
No, just buy me a soda.
A soda?
Diet Coke, please.
Oh, dude, I'm on, what's today, the 11th? The 12th? What is it at?
11.
The 11th? I'm 11 days sin Red Bulls y sin soda. I'm dying.
No, yo no que digas que me estoy tomando la soda. No, it's just a little bit, yeah. No, yeah.
And again, man, saludos a todos, everybody, wherever you might be watching the show from. Welcome to the show. Liz Garcia is my special guest tonight. Tejano Recording Artist 2021, TTMA, Best New Female of the Year. And we got something up our sleeves, right? I told you guys I'm going to have these artists now. They know that when they're going to come do the show, they might have to do their vocals, right? Because you know what I get a lot of? You know what I get a lot of, Liz? I get a lot of people like, Bump, can they really sing?
Oh, mira, para mí, fíjate. As I've done this career, well, we haven't gone to how I started. We haven't gone back to that. Well, before we continue to this, don't let me forget this. But yeah, you asked about the crowd. The biggest crowd was there the first time. Y sí estaba un poquito asustada y me agüité un poquito because when they saw me, no band, nothing, Liz Garcia by herself. I wasn't even dressed for stage or anything. I was more casual. No sabía ni qué onda. So I sing, and as soon as they hear me sing, they start coming back. So I was like, oh, I like this. So that was the first time. After that, Fanfare, I've always performed in the middle. Those 2 stages in the middle. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. And then I did Fiesta de los Reyes. So those have been the most people. And everybody was engaged. So thank you. Yeah. That was like the biggest crowd. But anyway, what was I saying?
But hey, let me ask you: Are you more nervous? Are you more nervous to play for a small crowd or a big crowd?
Fíjate que no, it's not so much the. I don't think I'm left with any room for nervous. You know why? Because being that I do this with my tracks, I have to go to the sound and I have to deal with that. Y a veces they're not very friendly. So haz de cuenta que antes de que yo suba al escenario ya me sacaron
I know
el
some
diablo.
of those guys. They're my friends, Liz.
Ya me sacaron el diablo, so ya no voy nerviosa, ya voy enojada. So yeah.
Oh, that's you're right, because I've been there. I've been at the exact interaction you're talking about. I've been there where the artist is like, "Hey, this is my track. Do you got it?" And they just throw you the chord, and you're like, "Plug it in. You do it."
Yo no me agüito. Me dicen, "How are you gonna do it? Who's gonna do it?" I'm gonna do it. Don't even worry about it. Just give me the damn chord, and I'll do it myself. Y esos creen que los voy a tener trabajando. I'm like, no, you're not. I can sing straight. I can do it. So don't even worry about that.
There you go.
Sí me doy en la torre, right, myself, porque I'm like, okay, you're ready. Let's start singing the other song. No me deja, I don't have room for that, but I'd rather do it that way, because if I put somebody out there that doesn't know how to work this thing, me paran antes de tiempo, and to me that's very unprofessional.
You get a little upset.
Oh, I get really mad. Pero but my fans don't notice that.
Liz, and this is Wacky Wednesday for a reason, because we bounce all over the place, right? You know, you talked about growing up in Laredo, Nuevo Laredo, and then, you know, you end up here in San Antonio. And like you said, you moved to San Antonio, you really had no choice. Tejano was the king here, and you got to learn it and know it. When did you decide, at what age did you decide where you're like, hey man, I think I can sing, I think I can go in front of people? I mean, I know you say you started 6 years ago, but, you know, 6 years ago, you would have been, I don't know, 15, 14, But on the real, at what age did you know, like, hey, man, you know what? I might want to do something like this.
Mira, music is something I've always wanted to do. It's a dream of mine. If you see my album, if you have my album, my first one.
I got them right here.
There's one of the covers on there where there's a little girl on top of a roof, you know, shooting star, make a wish. That's me. I did that 5 years, when I was 5 years. But, you know, somos Mexicanos. There's no money. You can't come up to your parents and say, there's barely enough money for food. And you're like, oh, I want to be a singer. Can you take me? You know, no, there's just no room. And when you are a Mexican kid, you mature faster than anybody else. So I would see all of that. So I'm like, I'm not going to bring this to my parents. But no, I don't come from music. None of my family comes from music. We used to sing with my mom outside. Neighbors would hear us. They would call us over. Hey, can you little girls come and sing happy birthday, whatever. We would go. It was me and my sisters. Pero no vengo de música. So that was something in the back of my mind. You know, I go to school, I work, I get married, I have my kids. And
You never had a chance to do like choir or like church, nada?
Nada. I started in the shower, right? Because when he met me, he's always singing. I was always singing along and always singing. Pero que dijera, I want to do it. He didn't even know that. Like, nobody knew. It was just me. So what made me jump to it, as a teenager, I would always get sick from my throat. Y siempre, I was like, okay, maybe I'm going to lose that opportunity. So I kept going with it. You know, I was like thinking about it. So then, exactly 6 years ago, I start checking into it. Because I got a little scared. You know, I was like, okay, this is happening too often. So I'm checking into it, but at the same time, I'm already trying it in the shower, you know, because in the shower, everybody sounds badass. So
I know. I'm in the
God.
shower. I'll be singing, and there's a part that's coming. I'm like, I ain't even going to freaking try that part right there.
Pero se oye bien a todo that, right? I'm like, wow. Okay, so then from there, I'm like, I'm going to try karaoke. So I want to try it. So we go to karaoke, and I probably go to a few, not too many, because, you know, to go to karaoke, you have to consume because it's a restaurant. And then, of course, you only get to sing 1 or 2 songs all night. That's it. So okay. So I tried it, and I got a good reaction from people. I'm like, okay, I think I can do this. So I kept trying, like, at least a few times, but then I couldn't go anymore. So then I figure. I'm like, how, if I can't go, I want to continue. It's like just like little Nick that I wanted to do it every day. So I bake. I'm a baker.
He's just opened up a whole can of worms.
And so that's, I bake and I get a karaoke machine for my house. So I'm like singing, they can tell you. They digo que literally they would put the pillow on their head. Because I would go to work, my day job, and I would come home y me ponía a cantar. I would be up until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning singing a todo pulmón. I live in the country, so there was no neighbors at the time. Pero ellos,
Los pinches coyotes. Oh!
Pero pobrecitos, they all had the pillow on their head. Pero yo les seguía. So there, I'm like, I need an audience. You know, I really do need an audience. So Facebook Live comes about. Oh my God, did I learn that I'm brave? You talking to a very brave woman here. I jump into the Facebook Live singing. No music in the back, no background. I don't come from the background of music, nothing. No lessons, nothing. Así como vengo del karaoke, así como vengo del shower, I start on Facebook. It was bad. Like,
no tequila?
Negativity up the wazoo. Like, pero bueno, I don't blame.
Liz, but if you don't have that, if you say negativity, that's the professional nice way to say it. Haters. If you don't have people hating on what you're doing, you're not doing something right.
Yeah, no, y me barrieron el piso conmigo. Y barrían el piso conmigo. I'm like, pero yo no, I don't care. You're watching. That's all that matters.
That's it.
That's all that matters.
You're absolutely right? If look, I tell people all the time, right? If this show's not your cup of tea, it's easy, right? Either your thumb or your finger, you just go like this.
Yeah.
And it goes to the next, the next thing. Up, yeah. It's not that hard, you know what I mean?
No, y se quedaban. The engagement was really good. So I'm like, okay. Pero de ahí, I wasn't going anywhere. It's just Facebook Live. And the good thing for me was that I had an audience. And I had a really tough audience.
And they would jump in there for you, right?
Oh, yeah. La gente como quiera me defendía. But anyway, so there comes the contest for Tejano Idol. I don't like contests personally. No me gusta because I feel like they don't define you. As también como los awards, like I tell you, they don't define who they are. But I had one of my friends from California. She sends me the clip and like, you need to go into this. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I can do this. Like, do it. I'm like, no, I just do karaoke. I just do it. So I thought about it. And they kept pushing me. So I tell him, I turn the screen around. Tell me if I get this wrong. So I sing the song. It was just a comfort, safety net, I guess, the screen. Because I already knew it.
But you're asking your husband, no te vas a decir. He's not.
He wasn't judging me. He was just watching to see if I missed any of the words.
Okay.
No, créeme que I was not ready. I was not ready for a contest at all. So I decided to me, what mattered was that I could sing the song without
messing up the words.
Yes, that was what mattered to me. So voy al carry, I listed Tejano Idol auditions one day before it ended. And they're like, the lady that was Aggie, saludos if you're watching. She was very serious. And they're like, who wants to go first? I'm like, yo, like, get it over with, right? Me, I'll do it. And everybody that was there had already been on stage, had been singing. Everybody.
You volunteered to go first.
Yes. And I was the first one. And I was the one that had never done this before. Like that was going to be my first time. And they were recording. So, okay, go ahead and sing your song. I'm like, all right. Me la aviento. Oh, we're going to have to do it again because it wasn't recording. I'm like,
you got a free shot. Okay.
So me la aviento. And then when I start singing, I noticed that they were like not paying attention. And when I start singing, everybody stops and just looks at me like, oh, I think I messed this up. So when I'm done, vienen y me preguntan, how long have you been singing? I'm like, today.
Today? I just came on the way here. Somebody told me, I said, I'll stop by.
And then she's like, what? I'm like, yeah. She goes, we want to invite you to one of our events. I'm like, yeah, if I'm going to sing 1 or 2 songs, yeah, I can do it. Te digo, no sé ni qué onda, I didn't know anything. So.
And who was running the show? What was her name?
Aggie Saldaña from Tejano Idol.
Because doesn't David Olivares do something like that too?
He has his own. And his is
but it's the same concept?
Yeah.
So here you are, you're singing, first rule number 1: don't never volunteer. And there's Liz volunteering to go first. But Liz, it's funny you say you went first, right? Because I have a lot of friends that always say, you know what, Bump? If they don't want me to close, they want me to open, I'll do it. But whoever's behind me better be ready because I'm gonna leave it all on the stage, right? And how many times, and this is the truth, if the shoe fits, wear it. How many times have you been to a baile and it has like 2 or 3 bands, and say that second band comes on, and you're just like, the dance floor is full every song, everybody's having a good time, drinking, like you're just like, man, this band's badass. But you know the next band's coming up supposed to be even better, right? Mm-hmm. But then that band gets off, and then that third band, pues, se creen, right? They're the closers. They come on there, and then about halfway through their first set,
funny thing you talk about,
people start going home. It's like, hey, you know what I mean? You got to keep that same ánimo going, porque si no, you kind of lose the crowd.
You know, I had that. I was opening, not so much opening. A ver, cómo era. There was a band opening, and then it was me, and then there was a closing band, and then there was problems with something. They had trouble or something, so the band played it just a little bit, the first one, and then of course the DJ had everybody going before the dance floor was full. Yeah. So then I come around, and everybody got up and everybody was dancing, because I sing my style of music, but when I'm doing a show, I'm also including other music that's not mine. So it's like I'm doing cumbias, and people react really good to it, so they come out and dance. So I do it, and at the end of the night, like they ended up leaving me longer than they were supposed to. I stayed for the 40 minutes when I was supposed to be just there 15 minutes, because the people were like really into it.
And what do you do, Liz? Do you have your phone ready for that long?
Yeah.
You're always ready in case it.
Yeah. So everybody was dancing.
What's your favorite non-Liz Garcia Tejano song to sing? Like if somebody says, Liz, we're not playing one of your songs. It's a Tejano song. Anyone you want to sing. A lot of people here to see you. What song is it going to be?
That it's not mine.
What is it? That's not yours.
That I don't like to sing?
No, that you love to sing.
Oh, okay. What is it?
Here she goes. Drum roll.
Darn it.
Oh, I thought you'd spit one out like, oh, this one. I got to sing this one.
Well, es que le pongo de todo. Bueno, I guess the one that I always used to sing, Golpe Traidor. I could never go wrong with that one.
Which one?
Golpe Traidor. From Culturas.
Oh, okay. Got you. That's, ¿cómo se llamaba la señora?
Delia.
Delia, which is sisters to tu camarada, what's his name? That's his sister. The dude, man, what's his name?
Anybody help?
Hey, help! Somebody help me! No, él también se queda en México and también I think in Houston. He's at all the awards too, man.
Ismael?
Yeah.
No, Ismael is Leti Gubal.
Oh, there you go. See, confused. Hey, see, so I don't know everything, bro. I thought I knew, but I guess I didn't know, man.
Yo tampoco sé todo eso, no. Don't put me on the spot.
Un saludos a mi amigo Pete. If you guys aren't following tu amigo Pete DJ on social media, he plays everybody's music. You know tu amigo Pete?
Yes.
Tu amigo Pete's on here. Shout out to my homeboy DJ Law Dog Paul Zendes. He's on here. I want to say that right.
Lonila Mangini.
Lonila Mangini. How do you say your last name?
Mangini. Right?
Okay.
Right? Just say yes.
Just say yes, right? Just say yes.
Martín Herrera, Desi Betancourt, hasta Chicago. Saludos. Madrid Alvarez.
You know, Liz, something that I always do on the show is I always put my foot in my mouth.
¿Por qué?
Like I just did right now. Right? I was just like...
It's a live video.
Yes, and that's the thing. It's not. That's what people don't get, right? And a lot of these shows that people watch are like, man, that show was smooth. Yeah, fool, it's produced. Like they recorded it, and they're like, oh, we don't like this.
Spot.
Take this out. This is on the spot, right? But I
like
always,
right now, you guys, can you see my?
I always put my foot in my mouth, and what I mean by that is, 2 weeks ago, I'm burping this damn michelada. 2 weeks ago, I had some friends of mine here from 210 La Chismosa podcast. Shout out to Cecilia, my homie, and all the 210 La Chismosa podcast. But they were here on the show, and there was a lady watching. And they started saying, Grandma Rose, get Grandma Rose. And I'm sitting here like, hey, dude, I'm the host of this show. I don't know who the hell Grandma Rose is, right? And they all of them, they look at me like, hey, bump, chill out. I'm like, well, who's Grandma Rose? Like, she's a world champion arm wrestler. But she's 72 years old. I said, what? Yeah. I said, man, I'll take that lady any. So she was watching. So she says,
you've been challenged.
Yeah, she's like, you tell Bumper anytime, any place, I'll meet him. Arm wrestling. So Monday, a lot of people are off on Monday, right? The old Taco Haven now is called the Haven Southtown. Right, it's 1032 South Presa Street, downtown San Antonio. At around 11 o'clock, we're going to show up. The arm wrestling table, a real table, will be set up. And me and Grandma Rose are going to go one-on-one arm wrestling. I'm not nervous. They had me on the podcast with the other day. I called her out. I told her to make sure she has her Bengay, Geritol, all the stuff that old people take, that she has it ready to go because I'm going to take her down.
She's going to body slam you.
No mercy. Grandma Rose, I hope you're watching. And if you're not, somebody will point you to this and you can watch it later. But just know that your day's coming, and that's Monday. This United States Marine is taking you down. Right?
You better take some tacos.
So if you guys aren't doing anything Monday, come hang out with us at 11 o'clock, right? The Haven in Southtown. Me and all my friends from La Chismosa 210 podcast, they'll all be there. It's one of the members of the podcast, La Prima. It's her birthday, so we'll be celebrating that as well. But it's going to be a real table, Liz, like a legit arm wrestling table.
You better let go if she's.
But no, the only thing right now is I'm trying to figure out what I want to wear.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking of going.
You're
with
not worried about a broken arm.
Hell no. She needs to be worried about that. There's no way in hell she's gonna beat me. Okay. There's no way. I don't see it. There's no way that this 72-year-old lady is gonna take me in arm wrestling. So that's happening Monday, man. Monday. If you're not doing anything, let me know. We're going to be live. It'll be live on here. If you can't make it, Chismosa will be live. Bumper's up to a bunch of things starting Thursday. Thursday, I'll be with Cecilia and La Chismosa. We'll be raffling off. Do you have where you put your makeup on? Do you have one of those fancy mirrors with the light bulbs?
No, I just have one of these lights.
Okay, well... You better be watching tomorrow night on my live, on her live. I think it might be on her live. I'll share it anyway. But you're gonna have a chance for pennies on the dollar. Mm-hmm. You'll have a chance to win some of these very nice. What do they call it? Vanities, okay. Vanity where the girls can put on their guys too. Shit, there's a lot of guys. A lot of my friends, they do all the makeup stuff. Hey, whatever floats your boat. But make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. We'll be doing that. And then on Saturday, this is the time of the show. Don't think I'm ignoring you, Liz, right?
No, you're fine.
It's time of the show. We're talking about what's going on in Bumper's world. Saturday at Kennedy Park, right here in San Antonio, they have it's not really a lowrider show. It's called the Blessing of the Rides, where all the lowrider car clubs and all over San Antonio, they all show up to the park and their cars get blessed, but they have their cars set up for show. There's going to be a menudo contest. Guess who the judge is?
Míralo.
This guy, right? I'm going to be the judge. So I'm ready. I'm not going to eat Friday after lunchtime. I'm not going to eat. Ready to go for Saturday paque. Taste all the menudo. And then to end the day, they have a kickball tournament amongst the car clubs. And it started off something simple and it got really big. They called me and asked me to MC the event and then to also call the game. So, it's they pretty much they want me to talk shit. That's what it is. They want me to talk shit about the teams. I've been practicing. No, I'm going to go to Dito. No vas a llegar a first base. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what we're going to be doing. It's going to be a good time. It's open to the public. Again, if you're in San Antonio, the Blessing of the Rides at Kennedy Park, come and check us out. Menudo contest, kickball tournament. It's going to be a good time. And there's going to be some beautiful, beautiful cars out there. And again, another part of our cultura. So come check us out this Saturday, man. Make sure I'm not forgetting an event, and if I do, let's go back to Liz. That's enough of events right now. Liz, should get a little serious here.
Uh-oh.
No.
Can I run? ¿Qué pasó?
You personally, what do you hate about this industry the most? Should I set the timer or you'll be good?
Nah, I'm not going to go too much into detail. I don't need drama. No, mira, this is one thing that really like a pet peeve that I have. And this is where they say we support all new talent. And this is in the industry, And I'm proof that it's not true. If it's a pick and choose who they want to support. It's not. I don't see it as equal, but it's okay because, like I told you at the beginning, I'm more focused on the fan base than I am on anything else. So
it'd be simple to say, it's who you know, not what you know.
Yeah, and I don't know anyone, so yeah.
Hey, this is Wacky Wednesday, man. It's your show, Liz, tonight. That's and there's a real question. Like, I just asked that question. And it's like already people are on their comments, right? They're coming because they feel you.
Yeah. And I mean, right? And I don't like to participate because I see a lot of it on Facebook. I don't. I read it. I'm aware. But I live in my bubble. And I think everybody's noticed that. Drama is not for me. I just can't. And I see it and I hear it. And I could even be standing next to people when they're talking about it. And I just don't participate. No, I don't want to add to it. I don't want to encourage.
You mind your business.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. You're minding your business, and
I mean it affects me.
I know, talent. But I think if a lot of people were like you, Liz, sometimes. Don't get me wrong, because there's stuff that needs to be voiced.
Yes, I know.
Right, there's stuff, and social media. We live in a different age, a different time, where everything is instant. We live in an instantaneous world.
Yeah.
We can do everything we can at our fingertips, driving, at work, on the toilet. You could change the world sitting on the toilet now with the phone in your hand. Like you could say something that could absolutely, make somebody's day. Or
that's the saddest thing though. Like you see somebody bring something negativity about the Tejano industry. Everybody and their grandma shows up. But Liz Garcia puts a new song, crickets. It's like music, not chisme. I guess that's why. Por eso no me meto, and I really don't want to participate. I know, like you said, it has to be voiced and it has to be addressed.
Chisme sells.
I know.
Chisme sells.
Well, I guess I'm not selling.
I see your husband stretching his leg. I told him that chair was going to get his ass. So I wanted to ask you that because I know you're somebody who I know you were like that. Be following